So we're going to set a patient up in supine, an adult patient. So we've hoisted down into the middle of the bed, and then we've got Adam as symmetrical as possible along the midline. We're just going to have a basic supine adult setup using the SymmetriSleep kit. So we'll start off at the pelvis, and we're going to support Adam using some medium brackets with the yellow. They're identified using the yellow Velcro. And if it's all right just to lift your hand up there, Ad, that's great. So lifting up the sheet and the air mantle, then exposing the Velcro sheet underneath. I'm just going to place the medium bracket loosely located around Adam's hip, just where his pocket is in his trousers, and then slide that down to stick onto the Velcro. And we want that quite snug against Adam's hip. And then we're just going to do the same on the opposite side. And that's securing that pelvis. Then I'm going to pop in some smaller brackets in this case, so they've got the red Velcro on them, just next to Adam's torso. Not too high, we don't want the edge of that bracket right under Adam's axilla there, because there's lots of tendons and arteries there that would make it really uncomfortable. So about 2 or 3 fingers down from the top edge of that bracket, just again secure against Adam's torso, and then slide that down onto the Velcro. And that's got you. Just do the same on the other side. Great. And then we've got a D pillow that we're going to use just to support Adam under the back of his knees. So we're going to put that underneath, but it's going to go down on its edge, so the shape of the cushion will, with the weight of Adam's legs on it, draw in, so the horns of that cushion will stabilise Adam's legs and help him not to externally rotate. So that's going to just go underneath. Just going to get myself towards the middle of the bed to make that lift a little easier. Adam's helping again as well, a little there. So that's just underneath where those knees are, with the pillow facing upwards. And then a G roll just to slot in between those knees, with the zip facing upwards, so there's no pressure issue against Adam's skin. So Adam's adopted for us a classic windswept leg position, and we'll try using the SymmetriSleep large kit to make Adam more comfortable. We're going to look at just supporting Adam, accommodating the asymmetry initially, because we don't know if he's going to be comfortable coming right back into a more corrected position. So we'll start off using some of these SymmetriSleep pillows. First one being the D pillow, just to go underneath those limbs, just easing them underneath. And then perhaps to stop that skin on skin contact, having something in between those knees, just to stop that pressing together of those two limbs. And if Adam could let us perhaps just take the weight off those heels there, so that might be a starting position for us, just accommodating that asymmetry. If your patient presents with a frogged leg position, it might be that we could use the D pillow to go underneath those knees and just encourage them to come over the edges and rest more in the centre. So let's try that out. So let's just draw that through and under those legs. And the shape of that cushion does encourage those legs to be more in the midline. And then might use a G roll just to come up in between those heels. So that could work nicely by just putting the cushion underneath the sheet, and then it's not going to get kicked out of position then quite so easily. We might use some brackets just to emphasize those knees pointing up. So using that technique again, just using the brackets the alternative way round, encouraging those legs and knees back into the midline. Be nice to also have some stability around the pelvis as well. So we're going to use the medium brackets just next to Adam, just to back up the support provided by those medium large brackets on the knees, either side. So once we've got those cushions in place and Adam's a little bit less adducted and a little bit more aligned, we can start to secure everything in place around Adam's posture using the brackets. So we'll get some support around that pelvis, getting those brackets in nice and secure. That's good. And also around those legs. And Adam should be able to perhaps experience a lessening in his muscle tone, so that will help him relax down onto the supportive cushions and warming them up, have a gentle passive stretch. So in this example, we've asked Adam to represent somebody who's got a windswept asymmetry, but also with a potential scoliosis and perhaps high tone in their upper body, particularly in his arms. So if we can try and accommodate Adam's posture to begin with, and then see if we can then encourage a bit of correction to occur. So if we start by using a pillow to support those legs, we think that we've already perhaps done a range of movement assessment to figure out what Adam is capable of comfortably, but we think that we can help those legs come back more into the middle, and then we can work around that concept then. So let's give those legs that we've figured out can come back a little bit, just to have something to rest on. So that D pillow's gone underneath there, and then helping Adam not press those legs together quite so much with that G+ roll in there, and just help those heels be a bit lighter on the bed with the G roll, and then we can have a look at what's going on with Adam's hips. We can use that technique of using the sheet again, just to draw that pelvis through, just easing Adam back around. Use those brackets just to help that pelvis balance. If that scoliosis is coming over this way, we maybe just want to think about using the air mantle to lift and derotate that scoliosis, so the sternum is facing, is in line with the spine a lot more. So we can use the air mantle just to lift and derotate, and then we can hold that improved position with one of our brackets, not too high so it is uncomfortable underneath that arm, but we'll want one just on the other side. So that's going to go in, that's there, And then we can see if we could use perhaps some of these nice little ES horseshoe cushions just to help with the tightness of those arms. So if we can just feed those through, just to try and give Adam something to create a bit of a gap so that there isn't that skin-on-skin contact in that elbow cleft. It just gets really hot and damp and can get really not very comfortable in there for folks. So if we can just get a bit of a gap, that cool over fabric will really help things be more comfortable for Adam there.